Welcome back to season 2 of the Katie Wellness Show. I am back with more amazing tools, awesome interviews, and some great discussions to help you optimize your health, body, mind, and spirit. Not only can you use these tools every day, you can also teach them to your children and to your family members so that you can raise emotionally and physically resilient children, so that you can show up more in your life, that you can take back your personal power. Get ready to tap into your intuition. I'm so excited that you're here. You are worthy of health and of joy and of thriving in your motherhood, thriving in your life. Thank you for being here today. Welcome back to this week's episode. I am so glad that you're here. We cannot talk about our mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health without talking about our stuff. And if you want to start feeling better right away, this is something you can absolutely start doing. And it is decluttering. It is looking at the stuff in your home that is overwhelming you. Piles of paper, too many kids' toys, laundry hampers that are always full, even if it's clean laundry, if it's dirty laundry, if every laundry hamper is overflowing, you have too much stuff. This is something that I am really passionate about and have been living a decluttered lifestyle for probably the past 10 years is about when I started. And there are so many people out there that will say, we got rid of 70% of our stuff. We got rid of 90% of our stuff. I don't know how you can keep track of that. The more space that I have in my home, the more mental clarity I have in my body. There have been so many studies done talking about how clutter affects women's health so much, especially when you're in the home all day, when home is your domain or your main responsibility. The clutter affects your mental health. And chances are you have too much stuff. If your stuff is overwhelming you, you have too much. Some of the studies that I'm going to reference, so one of them is a self-reported study. Their conclusion is that clutter predicts lower life satisfaction. The main reason clutter creates anxiety is really, it's not necessarily about the amount of stuff. It really is about decision fatigue. Every piece of paper in that pile is needing you to make a decision about it. And if you have 10 pieces of paper that you have to make a decision about, and you aren't really sure, what am I supposed to do with this piece of paper? Do I need to save it? Do I need to toss it? Do I need to shred it? Do I need to recycle it? Is this an important paper? Is this something I need to act on? Every single item in our home is sending us messages. And the more stuff that we have, the more our brain and our bodies are bombarded by these messages of clean me up, pick me up, do something with me. You need to do X, Y, and Z. Every time you see a pile of clutter. So this is from one of the Cleveland Emotional Health. They say every time you see a pile of clutter, whether it's a stack of unread mail or unused items in your closet, your brain is forced to make decisions. Should I throw this away? When will I have time to deal with this? What if I need it later? Over time, these small decisions pile up, leading to mental exhaustion. The more clutter, the more decisions, and the more anxiety you feel, which is so true. Moms are already making so many decisions. Again, the more items you have, the more decisions you have to make. And something I found interesting in a separate research article was talking about how everyone defines clutter differently. And I will link in the show notes below just some of the people who have helped me on my decluttering journey. But something that Cass from Clutterbug says is, she talks about your clutter threshold. Is that Cass or is it Dana from A Slob Comes Clean? One of those two talk about your clutter threshold. And what that means is everyone's going to have a different level at which they have stuff in their house that they say, this is too much. Everyone has a different threshold or a different limit at which they can handle the amount of stuff. So if you look at a pile of paper and feel fatigue, if you feel anxious about it, just know you've gone over that threshold. I could go on and on with the number of studies and the proof. Let's jump into the mindset shifts that have made the biggest difference for me. Hear this phrase: your kids don't need all this stuff. Your kids don't need a room dedicated to toys. If they can't clean it up on their own, they have too many toys. Here's what I know. After getting rid of the majority of our toys, we have a box of Matchbox cars, and we've had this for maybe 10 years. This has been the limit to our toys. We have a box of Matchbox cars, a tote full of wooden trains. We have a tote of that one because trains tend to be a bit bigger. Legos and mag tiles. We have craft items that kids have access to, like Play-Doh, like watercolor paints. I encourage my kids to get outside and be active outside and be creative outside. Here's what I know. In getting rid of the majority of my kids' stuff, my kids, your kids want you. They don't want more stuff. They may say they want more toys. Really, they want to play with you. They want to be with you. That's what kids want. Kids need quality time, not more stuff. As we declutter our house, we have more capacity to spend time with our kids. We can play with them without worrying about organizing their toys or cleaning up their room. We can literally sit down and play a game with them without feeling overwhelmed. Number 2, don't let your clothes be bullies. If you have clothes in your closet that don't currently fit, every time you open your closet, they are telling you how much weight you've gained. They're reminding you how much weight you've gained. They're reminding you that your body isn't what it once used to be. Don't let your clothes be bully. If you're telling yourself, okay, as soon as I fit back into them, then I'll wear it again, right? As soon as I lose the 5 pounds or the 10 pounds or the 20 pounds, that's great. That's fine. You can tell yourself that, but I'm going to ask you 2 questions. If you did lose the weight, would you still want to wear that item? Would it still be in style or your style? Would it still be comfortable? If the answer is yes, you would still wear it. Yes, it would still be comfortable. Yes, it would still be in your style. That's great. Keep it, but store it in a separate location. Put it in a box under your bed. If your answer to those questions is no, donate it. Give it to someone who can use it. Be really honest with yourself about your items. Only keep it if you're really dedicated to losing the weight, if you really will wear that item, if you think it will still be in style or still be comfortable. But don't let your clothes tell you that you're too fat. Is every single item hanging in your closet or folded in your dresser an option? If you were not able to pick out your clothes and you just told your husband, go into my closet and grab something that you think would look nice, are every single one of those items an option? Or would they not fit? He would bring them to you. Oh, this looks great on you. Would it fit? Okay. Get rid of those things that don't fit out of your closet. Number 3, people who give you gifts or your kids' gifts are not the ones who have to live in a cluttered house. Let me say that again for the people in the back. People who give you gifts or your kids' gifts, they are not the ones who have to live in the clutter. And if it is stressing you out, give yourself permission to regift it, to rehome it, or to say, Thank you for this gift. It needs to stay at your house, Grandma. Thank you for this gift, but it needs to stay at your house. Or can this toy be an outside toy, right? And there it's a little gray because sometimes outside toys can be just as cluttering as inside toys. If people who give you gifts want to be offended that you are donating a gift that you didn't ask for, that you didn't want or need, that is a them problem. It is not your obligation to keep a gift that you do not want, need, or ask for. And if it is something that you wanted, needed, or asked for, but you just don't have room for it, what can you get rid of to make room for this item? Now listen, please hear me. Of course, we want to be gracious and we want to be kind about receiving gifts, and we want to teach our kids how to be kind and gracious when they're receiving gifts. But just because someone gives you a gift does not mean you are under contract to keep that item forever and ever. Amen. It is okay to enjoy it for a little while, and when interest has been lost, you can get rid of it. You don't have to keep it forever. Number 4, getting rid of what you don't need that you, quote, spent good money on helps you be a better consumer in the future. There are so many items that we have in our homes that are useful, that are still in good condition, that we spent good money on. Keeping the item does not necessarily improve the likelihood that we will use it. Keeping it in your home does not necessarily mean you're going to start liking it or not going to buy something else to do what you wished that item would do. When we are more mindful of the items that are in our home, we are way less likely to impulse buy. Things are so easily and readily available to us. Overnight shipping, same day shipping is so easy. It is so easy to consume and so easy to buy and so easy to shop the dollar store at the dollar section at Target. When we do those, that clutter adds up over time. Decluttering helps to put in perspective what you're actually using, want, need is going to make your life easier. Here is my challenge for you today. Start with decluttering in your bathroom. This is what so many quote unquote experts will say, decluttering experts from almost every single person I have ever followed will say, start in the bathroom. The bathroom, there are not a lot of emotional decisions to be made. There's not a lot of sentimental attachment to things in the bathroom. If you still have your makeup from high school, please throw it out. You don't need it anymore. If you haven't used it by now, you're not going to. Old makeup, expired makeup, products that you don't like or that don't work for you or that you don't like the smell of, get rid of them. Most of the products in bathrooms can just be tossed. No one wants your used makeup. If you have a friend that wants to try used gel, right, products that haven't been touching your face or touching your skin or anything like that, you could ask friends if they want to try it. But don't be offended if they don't want it and just toss it. Just consider this an opportunity to learn from a past buying mistake and learn and know, I didn't like that product. I'm not going to buy it again. Start in the bathroom. Go through brushes. Do you have a curling iron that has so much product burnt onto it that it smokes every time you turn it on? You should probably throw that away and get a new one. I'm not encouraging buying for the sake of buying. I am helping you to see that you have way more in your house than you actually need. And by getting rid of the 45 different cleaning products underneath your bathroom sink and just choosing the 2 that do the job, you are going to have so much more mental peace and clarity. You will be able to take a breath, a deep, cleansing, rejuvenating breath when you have space in your home. So start in your bathroom. Get rid of old, expired, no longer needed, wanted, used products. Reduce the number of cleaning products that you have in your bathroom. Choose your favorites. If you have some in there that you thought you would like, but it doesn't smell good or it doesn't work like you wanted it to, get rid of it. Again, ask if somebody you know would like to try it, but otherwise get rid of it. Just go in with a black trash bag. It needs to be black so you aren't second guessing your decisions. And you don't have to do this from a place of rage, right? We're not talking about rage cleaning. We're not talking about being at the point of the breaking point. We're just talking about we want to be more mindful about the things that we have in our homes and the things that we are managing in our homes. And we want to reduce the amount of things that you're managing in your home to open your life to more of what fills you with joy. Managing your home is not life-giving, okay? It's something that we do to provide safety and comfort, but it's not what we do that brings us life, that helps us have joy and helps us to thrive. Making more space in your home will help you to thrive. Decluttering helps you to feel like you have more control over your life. This is especially true for women. When life feels out of control, your nervous system is activated. You are on high alert. Your anxiety might start raging, or you might have like the opposite, the crash of depression, of having low self-worth and shame and guilt and regret and all of those low frequency emotions. And we want to shift that. We want to help you feel lighter. I want to help you feel peace and joy in your home. I could go on and on about this topic, especially decluttering and how much it has helped my mental health, how much it has helped my motherhood. I enjoy my kids so much more when I'm not managing all of their toys. And I realize that my kids are older now, but I have been doing this since my oldest was 4 or 5, maybe, is kind of when I started. So we are 5 to 6 years into decluttering their toys. And they have been a big part of decluttering. I include them in the process. I never want to take away their stuff and make them feel like I'm taking their stuff away. Now, I have had a couple of things that I've donated that belonged to my kids that ended up being a mistake on my part. And I did what I could to make it right. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And I have made a couple of decluttering mistakes. And I've apologized for it. But my kids have been an active part of the decluttering. And it has helped them to recognize how much they value organization and space and homes for everything. When my kids walk into their room, they don't have to trip over so many toys and clothes. They don't spend hours a day cleaning up their toys. They are thriving as well. I'm going to include in the show notes a couple of people who have helped me. One event that I really love, Ali Casaza does a challenge every January, and it's called Declutter Like a Mother. And she does videos that walk you through, I think it's like a week-long challenge, but she walks you through different areas of your home, and I really love that one. Dawn Madsen is the minimal mom, and she has a bunch of YouTube videos. She has a couple of programs. She has one really amazing program with Dana K. White and Cass from Clutterbug that is like a whole program. decluttering and organization and mindset shifts. So I'll include links down below for Allie, Dawn, Dana, and Cass. And you can check out their YouTube videos. All of them, I'm pretty sure, have YouTube videos, podcasts, all of that. But I just want to encourage you that as you make space in your home, you will feel so much more mental clarity, mental peace. You will be a better steward over your finances because you won't be making all those impulse purchases, all those impulse buys. You will have more joy and more peace and more capacity to relax in your home. And you'll have more bandwidth to take on more of what fills you. You deserve the mental clarity. You deserve peace in your home. You deserve a place that you can relax without piles of clutter sending you messages, yelling at you, screaming at you, creating decision fatigue. This is something that can seriously improve your mental health when you are not constantly bombarded by messages that your stuff is sending you. Your mental health, you will be able to breathe and relax and not be on high alert all the time. Really, decluttering is for your mental health and for your physical health. You'll have more capacity to think about your health, about meals that you're providing for your family, or ways that you're moving your body, or are you doing the things you need to take care of your emotional well-being? Do you have a place that you can meditate, or that you can plan or journal or do the things that help you connect with yourself again instead of being buried by all your stuff? I wish you the best. I'm sending so much love and encouragement. And really think about decluttering. Think about the messages that your stuff is sending to you. You deserve to be able to turn your brain off. Thank you for joining me this week. I love you, and I will talk to you next week.